Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome once again to yet another edition of the Decency NCLEX Academy weekly seminar. Yeah, sometimes every week we'll come up with a program, we invite some people, and it's totally free. So you're getting all the information free of charge, okay? You're all welcome to today's program. It's been making waves on the internet. A lot of people are, looking forward to today's event. And I promise you, the people we have brought is capable. We just don't, we don't run into people on the street and say, come and share what you got. But we actually make sure that these people that we are talking to every day are people who are able to deliver on their promises. So today, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to keep it short. We have our presenters here, but just to be able to make sure that we carry everybody along, we have some people in the waiting room. We have a lot of people that, that are still trying and struggling to join. Our Zoom can accommodate all of you. We have a good capacity in our Zoom that can take care of everybody. So one favor you're going to do for me today is to try and reach out to your friends, your loved ones, your relatives, anybody you think that needs this kind of seminar, this kind of presentation, anybody you think that might need an extra income. Just reach out to that person and let the person know that the program has just begun. Okay, we have started, we are admitting people, and before you know it, we'll be right into the program. So, but for now, I want to do one quick exercise. So we are all muted, right? So nobody is able to talk. If you're able to talk, then I think, okay, so everybody's muted now. So one thing you're going to do for me is to let us know just in a nutshell in the comment section where you're viewing us from. Because most times I like to know like where people are coming from. We like to know the coverage. We like to know the countries. Just country, you might mention state, but want to know the population of people we are talking to. So not on the audio, but I wish that you use just the comment section to let us know the place you are viewing us from, okay? The place you're listening to the program from. I'm just gonna run through it right quick as I'm, bringing more people in. I'm gonna run through it and then we'll go right into the program. So thank you, and welcome to the program. We have our experts, they are all here. I can see their faces. I'm going to spotlight them in a minute. So, but right now, we just want to look at the comment section and find out where people who have joined us today are joining us from. Come on, let's do that. All right, so we have USMC from UK, we have USA, we have Nigeria, we have Canada, we have Nigeria, Port Harcourt, we have Lagos, we have UK, US, United Kingdom, UK from Lagos. Hello, Messi from Nigeria. Thank you for joining us. Nigeria, Ikenna is from Oka. Ikenna, thank you for joining us. And we have Okafor Chinaza from Nigeria. So a lot of people, Abuja, Nigeria, Asaba, Nigeria. That's Akban, thank you for joining us today. Cynthia from Abuja. And then we have Ireti from Nigeria, Lagos, to be precise. Thank you so much for joining us today. And we have Samuel from the US. Thank you so much. And we have Dr. Obina. Dr. Obina, you're welcome to the program. We have Robbie from Enugu. We have Kome from Nigeria. All of you are all welcome. We have Charles from Enugu, UK, Ogun State, Nigeria. We have Good from Ogun State. We have, I guess, just a lot of people. We can't go through all that. So many people joining us from different places. We are all excited that you people are here today. Okay, and we're going to go right into the program now. So we have in our midst seasoned IT specialists, IT experts that are going to be talking to us today. So I'm not going to talk about them, their person. So I'm going to talk about their company. All right. So over time, how did we give birth to this IT thing that we're talking about today? Over time, the Decency NCLEX Academy has been in the business of training nurses and helping them to migrate to the United States. We've helped over 5,000 nurses worldwide to make this move. And right now, what we have been experiencing is that most nurses that migrate to the United States, their husbands are not able to find something befitting to do. So most of the time, We find their husband riding Uber, we find their husbands, doing all kinds of menial jobs, which is not supposed to. You can imagine having a bank manager from Nigeria follow his wife to the United States just to come and ride Uber. And a lot of people is in this situation. It's been bugging our minds so much because it makes a lot of people to make different decisions in the US. A lot of people break their contract when they come here because they feel, oh, the agencies are not paying so much. We just have to leave them and find something else to do. So a lot of people have been affected by this, and that's what made us to start looking for a solution. And that solution is this thing I'm going to be presenting to you today. Their name is COILS Technology Limited. They are not new in the business. They have done it before. They have trained some people, and today you're going to be listening to not just them, but to the people that they have trained that are already benefiting from this kind of job creation that they are presenting. So they are able to train you in IT and also able to get you a job and also able to support you when you start doing that job. I'm not going to say much. I'm not presenting. I'm going to let them do the talking and I'll do the listening because I'm listening like you. So, but the main thing is we are trying to solve a problem, and we believe, we are so happy that, we got a solution to the problem that has been ravaging a lot of families that come to the United States. So today, help me welcome one of my very good friend and also one of the directors of the company. His name is Lincoln Badejo. Lincoln Badejo, you're welcome to the program today. And he's right there. I'm going to spotlight him in a minute. So we have Chris Chime. Chris Chime is also the director of engineer in the company. So Chris Chime, you're welcome. Chris is joining us from South Africa. Lincoln Badejo is joining us from the US. They have other partners in different parts of the world, so they are able to connect you to, the resource that you need. But the main thing is, in fact, listen to them. I'm not going to say much. Let me just leave you to listen to them, okay? All right, so we're going to take questions at the end of the program. So if you have any question, please kindly write it down on a paper. At the end of the program, I'll give you opportunity to, ask your questions, and I asked them for 2 hours. And, I believe that they should be able to give us 2 hours, but I know they are very busy people. So in the case that questions becomes too much, we'll take the much we can. But right now, we're just going to do the 2 hours that we agree, with allowances to, in case we have more questions, we're going to, look for how to increase the number of hours that we spend here. All right, thank you so much. So, Mr. Lincoln, I guess you're the one to start. So you will start, and you are able to share your screen, I suppose. So you can share your screen, take over the microphone from me, and let the program begin. I wish you all a good listening time with us. Keep it real. Just ask your questions where you think you have questions, and I believe they should be able to take care of every question that we got. All right. Thank you so much. Lincoln, over to you.
Oh, thanks so much, Decency. And again, thanks everyone for taking the time to join this session. We're going to try as much as possible to be brief, so that we can give enough time for some kind of interaction and response to your questions, as many as there. For an introduction, I'm Lincoln Badejo. I'm a certified information system auditor, and I'm also AWS certified solution architect. That's basically my portfolio before moving to the US 4 years ago. My last role in Nigeria was with Jumia as the global call center infrastructure manager, leading the efforts for Jumia around the 5 major countries: Nigeria, Egypt, Kenya, Ivory Coast, and Uganda. So that's basically a quick backstory in regards to my person. I've been in IT for way over 10 years, just so you guys are aware. So I'm very seasoned. I really understand what the industry present and what the various offerings are. Currently in the US, I'm leading a couple of efforts really around project management, and I'm consulting for a couple of organizations here in the US and also in Nigeria. That's me. I also want to give you guys the opportunity to meet my partner, Kristen Chime. Kristen, if you have a minute, so you can introduce yourself and then we can jump right into this.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Hello. Hi, everyone. I hope you can all hear me. I want to thank you. Today, I know it's afternoon and evening, so good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining from. Thank you to Decency for giving us the opportunity, and thank you all the listeners for listening to us this afternoon. My name is Christian Chime. You can actually call me Chris. Based here in South Africa. I'm currently a senior cloud and DevOps engineer with AWS Amazon Web Services. I hold quite a number of certifications. I'm not sure I'm going to go ahead to mention all of them. But I actually make things work on the cloud. That's one of my strong passion. I've been in the cloud space for over 8 years. And overall in tech, I actually have about 10 years experience. I come from a programming background. I worked with 2 startups basically in Nigeria. And then before I left, I worked with Microsoft, one of the vendor companies, and then finally moved over to AWS. And you're going to listen to us talk about COILS and COILS Academy. And I'm hopeful that it would benefit you a lot. I'm currently based in Cape Town, South Africa at the moment. And yeah, I'll be anchoring and the presentation with today. Thank you.
Okay, I think Decency already took a good time describing and explaining to us what COIL represent. Our major vision is really around the fact that we're here to hold your hands till you can basically do things for yourself. We consider that a point of independence. So that's our strength, that's our vision, that's our promise. And hopefully we're going to be able to get some of you guys on board to come on this journey with us so that we can help you actualize your goals, vision as it applies to IT. For a quick introduction for the company, I want to answer some of the questions I know some of you have at the back of your mind. Coming to this meeting, you're like, what's COIL? Who are these people? Maybe you've not heard about us, but just to give you some statistics, we've currently trained over 200 persons, and these people are currently placed in various high-paying jobs, and they are able to support their family, and they are living, in my opinion, their best life. Our organization basically stands on 3 important pillars. The first is training. Training is the foundation, right? You cannot get people to where you want them to be if you don't impact them with information, knowledge, and training. Secondly, we do consulting. We're a managed service organization that currently consult for a couple of organizations in Nigeria. We're consulting for some fintech. We're helping them get more aware in regards to cloud computing. And we're also assisting with some key migration projects that they're currently working on. The third important pillar is basically on-the-job support. We have a large alumni base where people have gone through the training and needing some level of support while on the job, right? Difficulty in the sense that they need someone to help them with complex projects. Some of them don't have all the hands-on experience, but again, they were able to secure high-paying jobs, and the jobs would demand certain responsibilities from them that unfortunately they can't at the time deliver on. And that's where we also play a major role to ensure that we can support them, get them comfortable to the point whereby they basically no longer need our services or assistance, or they can just leverage our community and throw questions to the community whenever they have such kind of questions. Just like Decency mentioned, we've also extended our partnership with Decency Academy to basically further our training vision. We want to be able to reach more people, and we want to be able to help more people actualize their desire, especially moving over to an industrialized environment whereby the demands are really, really harsh, in the sense that the price for goods and services are expensive and you cannot basically meet those needs if you're not earning good pay. So it's an interesting partnership, and over time, it's going to unfold, and we're really going to be able to bless and help more people. This is the team behind the vision. You've met me, you've met Kristen, but beside two of us, we also have Samuel Obodo, who is currently in the US and also working as a senior cloud engineer. You're also gonna get the opportunity to hear from him as he shares his own story, how he's benefited from the organization. We have Ikena, who is our product development manager. Is currently in Nigeria assisting with some of the initiatives and efforts that the organization is currently driving back in Nigeria. And we have Otnell, who is currently in the UK. He's also working with a bank as a DevOps engineer, and is also part of the team. Talking about the IT industry, that's primarily the reason why every one of us were here. I know some of us are well aware of what the IT industry present and what the various offerings and benefits are. But I would like to personally share some important information with us in regards to stats, and also basically break it down so that we can understand it for ourselves and how it applies to us. From a revenue standpoint, looking at what the industry offers, it's projected that in 2025, the IT industry, mainly cloud computing, is going to be driving revenue way over $800 billion. That's key. Just take note of these numbers, and then I'm going to break it down and really help you understand how this applies to you. Secondly, IT jobs are one of the high-paying jobs in the US, and also countries like Canada, UK, Australia, and even in most of the slightly developed African countries. So that's really key. In regards to job demands, statistics shows that the rate of job posting, mostly around DevOps and cloud engineering, has increased 50%, considering 2019 coming over to 2022. An updated stat will show that that number that percentage has also greatly increased. How does this relate to us? How does this number pretty much come down to us? Because of how much IT organizations are driving, they are basically spending so much in getting the best talent that can also support the industry. When you talk about over $80 billion in revenue, that's not money that these organizations are keeping. A percentage of that money goes back into equipping or getting the right talent that can basically support the job. That's the reason why we're here, because the demand is significant, and we feel the African race in this developed country should also be able to take advantage of this market share, like getting good placement jobs and be able to at least earn something reasonable from this industry that we all know, right, drives a lot of revenue from a financial standpoint. Secondly, in regards to demand, I'm going to show you guys a little bit on Indeed, and you can go back and do your research on Glassdoor. You can consider LinkedIn. The job openings daily, they are just enormous. When I mean enormous, in a day you're getting way over 50, in some cases 100 new job postings for jobs that are paying way over $100,000 per annum. I don't know if that sounds exciting to anyone, but that basically tells us that there is significant demand, and these organizations are looking for talented people who can fill those roles. And we're hoping that you guys on this call, if we're able to hold your hands someday, that could be you, whereby you are earning way over $100,000 annually for your family, and that just translates to the various things in regard to business, other opportunities that you can venture into once you have more capital that you can work with. Let's look at Indeed. I just tailored this down to job postings in the last 3 days. I'm only considering remote jobs. Just so you're aware, IT offers both remote, hybrid, and on-site jobs. I currently work remote, right? I've been in the US for over 4 years, and I've never had the reason to walk into an office. I've been working remote since I came into the US. Just so you're aware, it has significant benefit because I also have little ones. I have 2 little kids, and I also have a wife, a spouse who is fully vested in a career. She's never had the reason to quit a job or stay back at home to help with childcare and all those harsh realities that you have to deal with when you move over to countries like the US. So I've been working remote since over 4 years, and I'm also practically the one who is able to like take my kids to school, pick them back from school. I define my schedule. I'm currently on this call with you guys, sharing our passion, our desire, hoping that you guys will be able to come on board because of how flexible my schedule is, right? That's something you get from IT. I also narrowed it down to jobs that are paying way over $115,000. And this is what you have. Just scrolling down, you can see jobs. This is currently in Illinois, paying within the range of $113,000 to $143,000 per year. It's a full-time job. There are other jobs that are contracts. Some of you might want to take opportunity or take advantage of jobs that are contract running 12 months, running 2 years, so that you can, if you have family needs and you want to step back from your job, the flexibility is really key. This is another job paying $111,000 to $141,000. I'm just going to go down. This is a new one that was posted just while we're talking 0 minutes ago, right? This is from $108,000 to $137,000, and it keeps going on and on. This is jobs for today. This is a DevOps engineering 3 job. It's fully remote again. And some of these jobs, the qualification or the minimum requirement is very, very light. We're going to talk about it in some of the subsequent slide as it applies to what the qualification that you need to have to be able to take advantage of this job. So no panic. Everyone on this call can someday pick up one of these jobs. So I just want to make it as clear as possible. Anyone on this call, if you're properly trained, you get the right qualification, you should be able to pick up one of these jobs. Let me just go over to LinkedIn and show you some of the opportunities. In this case, I picked for the last week, again, remote jobs. I'm focusing on remote jobs because most persons would prefer remote jobs. But again, like I said, there are on-site jobs, there are hybrid jobs that you can also take advantage of. There's a posting, 110 to 190. This is for a senior Azure DevOps engineer, stroke cloud operational engineer. You also have senior Azure DevOps engineer paying 110. I can spend all day sharing this information with you guys, but I think you can go back at your own spare time to do your research and see exactly what the IT industry presents and what you can basically take advantage of. Let's talk about the problem we're trying to solve. I see some persons when we're reviewing those in the meeting. You guys are in the UK, you're in Canada, in the US, some in Nigeria. For the few that are either in the US or Canada, I'm going to be using the US as a case study as I describe the problem we're trying to solve. If you relocate from Nigeria to the US and you have maybe a bachelor's degree in microbiology, right? That's a fantastic profession. That's a fantastic course to have studied within your 4 years in your undergraduate. But when you get to the US, to be able to translate your qualification that you had in a university in Nigeria to secure you a job as a microbiologist can be extremely challenging. I've even seen cases where people are studying courses like mechanical engineering, electrical engineering. They come over to the US, they can't find a job that they qualify for, just considering the fact that they're coming with a degree out of Nigeria. In some cases, you might have to apply for like an advanced training, maybe a master's degree, or get additional certification before these organizations would even begin to entertain a conversation with you in regards to an interview. That in itself is a problem, because these well-trained, skilled people are now in countries like the US, Canada, and having to do jobs that they never bargained for. I came to the US, and within less than 2 months, I was already well placed. That's only possible because, one, I'm an IT person, but I also prepared myself before coming to the US. There were certifications I had to take, important certifications that are basically global. They're not certifications that exist in Nigeria or in Africa. Once you, if you're an Azure Cloud, if you're a certified solutions architect, for an example, or if you take any of the AWS certification, those certifications basically tell any organization that this person can deliver on certain responsibilities, right? The person can solve A, B, C, D issues in any organization because they are certified and they have it, not necessarily because they're a mechanical engineer or an electrical engineer, as the case may be, but because they are certified. Secondly, financial difficulty. If you have a family earning of $4,000 monthly in a country like the US, there is very little you can do with that money. Once you start paying bills, your house rent, you pay for childcare. I currently pay over $2,000 just for childcare for my kids, right? So just imagine if you're earning a little bit over $4,000 or less than $4,000 as a family income, it could be really, really challenging and stressful, whereby there is just very little you can do with the income you're having. Another problem is the fact that just coming from Nigeria or coming from Africa already sets you back, because our exposure to technology isn't just the best, right? There are quite a few organizations in Nigeria that are currently matured from an IT standpoint, right? You have organizations in Nigeria that they just run wires. They don't even have a domain controller. So you come to the US and you're in interviews and having conversation and they mention these things. You've been in IT in Nigeria, but you've just not touched any of these things. Cloud is something that is very popular in the US, but back at home, there is still a significant lack of awareness in regards to what the cloud can do. The adoption of the cloud is something that is still way behind as far as Nigeria. That's a problem in itself. But also consider the fact that in the US, it's very difficult for both spouses to maintain a full-time job that takes you out of the house. I'm trying to talk about things that you guys on this call can relate to. If the husband and the wife maintains a full-time job that takes them out of the house and they have kids less than 5 years old, that in itself is a challenge, because some jobs are 9-to-5 jobs. The wife is a nurse. She ends up working maybe 3 days a week to be able to support the family, or if she needs to make, or he or she needs to make additional income, needs to pick extra shift. Then the child who is at home ends up struggling, right? And it's an environment whereby we really need to stay close to our family and close to the kids. That in itself is a problem. It's an obvious reality that people are having to deal with. That's why even trained persons who can as well go out and pick up a job deliberately stay back at home just to have someone else do the job, right? Because not all jobs give you the opportunity to work remotely. These are the problems we've seen. We've taken out our time to study these problems. We've had conversations with people who are facing this harsh reality daily, and we've been providing help to them. And we're like, you can change this narrative, you can change this story, you can do better than this, not just spending time talking about your problem. You can actually take advantage of the solutions that we've put together to address most of these issues. We're not talking about solutions that exist on paper. We're talking about solutions that we've practically executed with people who wouldn't have thought it possible to be able to get an IT placement. These are a couple of our strategy. The one that is really key is the one-to-one mentorship. You're basically having someone assigned to you to understand your strength, your weaknesses, and identify what career path, IT career path, would be a fit for you. I was having a conversation with a friend who told me, you know what, I want to be a programmer. It sounds very fancy, right? I hear programmers and way above $80,000 annually. I'm like, that's interesting. That's nice. It's possible. But have you considered the fact that learning a new language can be very difficult when you get to a certain age? And bear in mind that the people you're going to be competing with in the industry are actually young folks in their 20s, in their 30s, who just came out of school and they've been programming over 8 years. Why do you think an organization is going to pick you over someone who programs from their sleep, right? You don't have any programming experience, but it's something you can learn. But we're saying there are other options for this, right? Would you want to consider this as an option? We run you through a couple of tests to really gauge and see what's the best fit for you. Is it IT project management? Is it product management that might be the best for you? Is it cloud computing? Is it DevOps? Is it cybersecurity, which Christian is going to shed some light on to basically hone in on some of the important values you can get from courses like this? One-on-one mentorship is extremely key. We also have a rich alumni base, right? We're giving you an opportunity to network or connect with people who have gone through this journey that hopefully we're considering some of you will be able to come on board and start with us. But they can also share their success stories. One thing that is really important is that some persons get through the training and they're done, but really no organization wants to hire someone who is just fresh out without any working experience. But there's a way around it, right? There's definitely a way to accumulate or accrue what I would call work experience, because that's part of the things you're going to be getting during the training. It's all project driven. So some of the projects you're going to be speaking to are projects that you're going to be getting involved in within the training. So you're going to have access to our alumni base. You're also going to have access to live classes and tutoring, right? We have live classes. We also have training courses that are going to be subscribed for you, that your mentor is going to be checking with you daily within the week to see your progress on those courses. And at the end of the day, one thing that is extremely key is that we want to get you certified. I've had conversations with persons and they're asking me, are you going to give us certification? Unfortunately, it doesn't add any value to you if COILS writes you a certificate and issue it to you. What we're working around is industry recognized certification. The certifications that when you look at a job posting, you see some of them as minimum requirement. There are people who are done with trainings and they're wondering, oh, I don't have a job yet. I've not gotten placement. And I'm asking, do you even have a certification that would give you an edge? You have a job and you have 50 persons applying for that job. If the organization sees someone with a certification that demonstrates them as a subject matter expert in that field, they're going to pick them over you. So it's not the absence of job, it's just that you're not rightly positioned. You don't have what it takes to secure such a job. And finally, the payment plan is extremely flexible. I'm not going to spend so much time on that because that's just going to open the door for 1,000,001 questions. I see people already raising up their hands, ready to ask their question, but everything comes at a cost, right? There is a cost for the time that the trainers are going to be allocated to be able to walk you through this. But what we're saying is we're trying as much as possible to ensure that it's flexible and something that you can work with. Why choose us? I've taken so much time talking and trying to convince you or basically share my passion with most of you. And at the back of your mind, you're like, there are quite a lot of other organizations that are doing the same thing you're talking about, right? Why should I choose you guys, right? I can as well work with an Indian trainer in India who can also train me through these things. It's public knowledge, right? There isn't any monopoly of knowledge, but there are some key differentiating factor. There are some things I want you guys to consider, which other organizations doing this might not offer to you. The fact that you're getting a one-to-one mentorship is something that can't really be paid for, right? One-to-one mentorship is key. Most of the trainings you get to attend, you're all lumped up in a pool. You might have someone in the class who is really shy and is someone like me. I'm a very shy person. So, right? And you end up not speaking up, right? But with one-to-one mentorship, you can talk to your mentor. You can open up to your mentor. You can reach out to your mentor. You can ask questions directly to your mentor. You can get some level of assistance from your mentor. Secondly, leadership is key. One thing people don't understand is that when you get on an interview, the interviewer is not only judging your skill sets, they're also measuring your leadership skill. So we've tried as much as possible to include a monthly leadership training as part of the program so that you can be able to function within a team. I currently lead a large team where I work today, right? And leadership is really key. There are statements you just don't make within a team because that can demotivate the team. You can be in an interview session and they're talking about skill, you sound at it, and someone asks you just an awkward question, a question that you really don't have an answer for. And you're spending time trying to find an answer. And that just tells me you're not teachable, right? Because technically, no IT professional knows it all. It gets to a point whereby you pause and say, unfortunately, I don't have an answer to this, but I can do further research. So we're giving you enough information, considering the end goal at the back of our mind. It's not to get you through a training, it's to ensure you get a job at the end of the training. That's the hallmark, that's the highlight of what we're trying to do. The cohort is also sizable and it's within a short duration. It's 3 months. 3 months in the sense that we're trying as much as possible to get this information to you in such a way that you don't get bored. When it gets too lengthy, right, there are some other trainers who would just want to make it extremely long and make you feel, oh, you need to spend 8 months, you need to spend 12 months learning this stuff before you can go out. And no. We've worked with people who didn't even know how to run basic commands on the PC, And in such a short time, they were ready to start shopping for jobs. So that's really key. It's 3 months. You're going to have one-to-one mentorship, and we're trying as much as possible to get you out the door as quickly as possible so that you can secure the job of your dream. Certification, that's also really key. We're not saying come for a training. We're saying come get a training so that you can write industry recognized certification and attach that as a badge to your name, so that when you update your LinkedIn profile and a recruiter is looking at your LinkedIn profile, they can see certifications that you've gotten. So that's something we're also providing. What's the biggest fear? You get a job that you cannot support, right? You're not confident in yourself. It's okay to go through a training, but are you confident enough that you can deliver on a job without any support? I don't think I would be if I go through a 3 month, no matter how nice my trainer is, there is a certain level of confidence I wouldn't get if you're not going to commit that if I get this job, you can support me, because it's going to be real life situation, right? Complex issues that you need to solve. And there are chances that those issues are something you've never thought about. Who do you turn back to get some answers or get some help? We're also going to be there after the training, after you get your job, to ensure that you can gain some level of independence throughout the entire journey. And finally, it's project-based. Your training is really going to be revolving around real life projects. You're going to be working with a team. It's going to feel as though you're working in an organization already, because the problems we're throwing into the group is going to be real life problems. If I find a problem on my job today that I feel would benefit you, I'm going to share it with you, right? It's as serious as that, because problems in the cloud evolve every single day, and there are new ways to solve problems. And we're going to be keeping you guys updated with most of those real life scenarios. At this point, I'm going to step back and turn it over to Chris to highlight and share with us the key offerings that COILS is going to be offering to you guys within the various training programs that we have.
All right. Thank you very much, Lincoln, and thank you, guys, for keeping up and staying. I think I wouldn't take so much time. I'm not a very good speaker like Lincoln. So just quickly, before we start attending to the questions, I already see some number of questions in the chat. I tried to answer a few of them. So basically what we're trying to do is to help you avoid had I known, right? That's what we want to do for those of us who are still in Nigeria planning to Jackma, like we actually call it in Nigeria. I mean, irrespective of your career or what you've studied in your degree, this is something that is open to you. The advantage that COILS bring is that we know where. I've had a lot of people ask me, okay, IT, which area do I want to, where can I start, or some people will come, maybe they've had somebody talk to them about data science. I know a lot of people will come and say, I want to learn data science. I want to. So that is not just what we are here to do. We look at the entire IT landscape, just like Lincoln was talking about programming. For me, I tell people, once you've gotten to an age where money is now a problem for you, you can't learn programming. That's the truth. You can only learn programming when you are not thinking about food, you are not thinking about house rent, you're not thinking about a lot of things. If you started thinking about those kind of things, you can't learn programming. That's the truth. You can take it to the bank. Is it that somebody at 40 and all that? It's not really about age, but once you have things that, you're bothering about all those kind of things, you can't. Like one of the persons who will be giving us testimonial today, I know, remember when I was talking to him, he's actually my brother. So he's here, he's going to talk about it. I told him, young man, you can't learn programming. And he thought I was bluffing, until it dawned on him. I said, look at where you follow. And then he followed that part. In just 3 months or so, he got a job, with Microsoft. So this is what we have done consistently. So for me, if you are outside of Nigeria, especially those of you who are going to the US, Canada, if you're making less than $200,000 per annum, you're not making money. And that's what we want to help you deliver. Trust me, and I'm not joking about it. I can give you phone numbers for people to call and verify. So we want to help you get comfortable. And just like Lincoln talked about, you can at the comfort of your house, you're not going anywhere. If I turn the camera to my desk, you see I have an office space in my house. I work fully from home. I don't go to any office for anything. So that's what you should be thinking about. What you should be thinking about, how many months do I need to work, or how many years do I need to work to hit up to $10 million? Those are the things we want to put, in your mind, from now. And it can happen within your first 1 year in the US. So that's what we are here to do. So we have these divisions that we focused on: DevOps, we have cloud engineering, we have cybersecurity, we have data engineering. Really, for me, the first two are, you can, if we can help me to the people that are talking. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so DevOps engineering, cloud engineering, they are tightly related. This is not a call to actually differentiate both of them, but they are very related, and there are things that even I've trained people that are pharmacists, people with zero IT knowledge, and they come in, there's something anybody can pick. And then the demand is huge. Lincoln was actually sharing with us LinkedIn. If I show you my LinkedIn messages every day on average, not to exaggerate, I get at least 5 messages globally. Can you come work with us? We want to offer you this. I've had to reject, a lot of things, going, several countries, going from, even while you're in Nigeria, I can guarantee you, even if you want to stay back, you'll get a lot of people willing to pay for your, just for your relocation. I did not pay for my relocation. People pay money to travel abroad. I did not spend a dime. Everything was fully paid for with enough money, to help me relax, got a house and everything, So that's what we are introducing to you, and that's what we're going to be helping you achieve. Cybersecurity is another one in case you're interested in that, but there are some minimum qualifications you need to get, at that. It's not really for beginners. Data engineering also is not really for beginners, but these are the 4 areas we're focused on primarily. And we can help you achieve success within a very, very short time. And our alumni, they are also people who are experts that can also provide support for you in these areas. If you can go to the next slide, link. Yeah, so the next thing here, testimonials, like I said, I'm just going to give you a few persons. These are all people we paid to come and talk about, what we're doing. These are people who will share their story. So I'm just going to allow them to talk. I'm not sure if Sammy, I'm going to allow Sammy just talk, and then Prince can also share his experience with us. Of course, Sam is also part of the team. He is actually the one that will be leading the training and everything, because he has passed through it, and being part of us, because he brings a lot to the table. He's actually part of us. He comes from an engineering background. So I would allow him to talk at this moment, and then after that, I'll welcome our second guest, Prince, to actually say a few things. So if you can go for it, Sam. Are you here?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Do I have to turn on my camera on?
Yeah, so they'll not think you're, it's a robot that is behind, but if you're not comfortable, fine, you can just, so they know it's not, we are not playing a tape. behind the scene. All right. So, but tell us, how did you find the training, and how long was your training? How long did it last? So maybe you can share your experience, how the training went, and how long it took you to get a job. Anything basically that can help anybody here.
Hello, Sammy. Let me just come in a little bit so that we don't take much time and also give room for questions at the end of the program. So what we would want to know is your background before you met the team, and then the kind of training that the team offered you, and then what it is like currently, with you after doing all the training. If you can share in figures how much you're making, because see, the main thing why people are working is to make money. So everybody want to hear about figures today. How much are you currently earning? If you're more than happy to share that, that's good. There are no village people here today, so everybody is wanting to make adjustments. Okay, so go for it.
Okay.
Go for it, Sammy. Thank you so much.
Okay, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. So my name is Samuel Obodo. Three things. I'm not gonna take more than 5 minutes. June 2021, Lincoln, he said something. There are some people that were trained, and prior to that training, they don't have a common command they can run on their own comfortably. Before now, I don't even know how to open a CMD. That's the smallest thing anyone can open in his or her laptop. So, but Chris, he's just spoke to me about cloud computing. I wasn't aware I don't have any knowledge about it before I moved. But when he spoke to me about it, I was thinking maybe since I never had passion for IT, that is something I'm not gonna be able to do. So, but he told me within 3 months, you'll start making money. You start making big money. And that entered my head, So I didn't want to come here and start schooling and taking so much time before I start making that money. So I paid attention to what he said, and I was enrolled in that training. That was July 2021. And after 3 months, I think around September, we concluded the training. And January 2022, I got 2 jobs. I rejected one offer. So I took one. Then the same January, okay, I got 3 jobs. I started doing two. I rejected one. I may not be able to share my screen to show you guys, but I still have the offer letters, and all of them are all above 100K USD. So, and at the end of the day, I was doing 2. Then before the end of the year, I was able to get up to 6 jobs. I'm not having all of them because it's actually demanding, and I decided to let go some, right? So, but the point is the job I have at the comfort of my home. Right now, I'm working and I'm in this meeting, right? So, but what I've been able to do today, the whole of today, is just 2 meetings. I've not done anything. I'm not planning on doing anything again today. So you have the flexibility, just like Link said. And the opportunity of going through this training, is superb. Like, I'm going to use that word superb because I'm not even thinking of going back to school. I may still go back to school, but then before now, I hated IT. That is just the summary of the whole thing. But today, I'm not earning anything less than 100K. I rejected an offer this January. There's this company, MTC, Millennium Trust Company. So they gave me an offer around January this year. I rejected our offer. So, okay, I'm going to mention the money. They gave me 125K, but I didn't take that up. I told them I am not doing it. So that is just it. The training actually is is what anyone can. I'm going to assure you that if you put your mind in it, you have nothing to regret. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Sammy. Thanks for giving us those. I know he was being economical with those numbers, but I can tell you, this Decency said, no village people here. He's big. He's big. All right. Thank you very much. Okay, let me welcome Prince to just basically follow the same format. Prince, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
good evening, everyone. Please, if you don't mind, I'd like to just share a screen just for a few seconds, so we will just see. Okay, can I share?
Prince is actually which country are you now?
Okay, I'm currently in Portugal. I'm in Lisbon, Portugal. I don't know if can you see my screen? I was sharing something. Did you see what I was sharing, please? Okay. This is just to let you know that we're not lying here. Okay. This is, please, what can you say? I think this is my ID card, right?
Your ID card, Microsoft
Yes.
ID.
This was the first job I got after the 3 months training with this organization. Okay. And that was how my journey really started. I moved into Europe in November 2020 in the midst of COVID. And there was really a lot of things, I was already learning front-end web development. I was doing a little HTML, PHP, JavaScript, CSS and stuff like that. I wanted to be a web developer. And just like my brother said, this is my beloved immediate other brother. We had a talk one day and he said to me, Prince, I'm a DevOps engineer and I work with developers. The demand that junior devs are giving, it will take you 2 years to learn and you're going to waste so much time. And something just asked me to just, okay, let's leave, because I've invested a good number of time in web development and I said, okay, let me leave it and try cloud. And to be honest, I think it's the best decision of my life. Currently, I no longer work with Microsoft because my contract with Microsoft ended. But before the contract ended, I got a better and sweet offer from a company in France. And that company has taken me to Paris on an all-expense paid trip. I didn't have to spend a dime. And in my team, we are wonderful. We have lots of developers and everything. One of the things I want to let you know is that IT is one of the place to go. It's one of the place to go. And in IT, cloud is the place to be. Cloud is the place to be. You will not regret it a bit. Just like Chris said, there is a high demand. On my LinkedIn every day, one of the things that interested me then, or the thing that lured me when Chris was telling me about it, was he shared his LinkedIn. He did a screenshot of his LinkedIn to me, and I would, if you don't mind, I would like you to do it today. Maybe it may help somebody. And I saw the amount of recruiters talking with him on a daily basis that want to hire him. He said to me, Prince, you will not be the one to apply. They will be the one coming to look for you. And all you just need to do is to prepare yourself. And I want to tell you, I have the same experience. I have not, to be honest, I have not applied for an IT job. And this is my second. I've not applied for an IT job once. Every day I get calls from recruiters and they keep calling you, they keep bugging you. We want you, we need you, we need you. So it's a good place. And one of the things I want you to know is that I believe, this is my personal opinion, I believe cloud has the shortest learning curve in all of IT. It has the shortest learning curve. And because I'm a Microsoft person, I will tell you that Microsoft Azure has the quickest learning curve. I don't want to be biased, but I think you can forgive me. If I want you to go into cloud, I'll tell you to go to Microsoft Azure. You will enjoy yourself. And in a space of 3 months, you'll be, I think 3 months is actually too much if you put in the work. 3 months is just an exaggeration, 90 days. But if you put in the work, I'm telling you the truth, in 2 months, you should be very comfortable. And one of the things Chris did for me is that on a personal basis, because he's my brother, I have that advantage. I can wake him up in the middle of the night. And there was a day I was having a problem. I stayed up almost all night and I just woke him up at some point and he resolved the issue for me. So it's everything said here is not a hoax. I want you to just give it a try. Give it a try. And I think you will not regret it. And seriously, I'm planning to move to the US because Europe is cheating us. So that's the last thing I'll say. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Okay. It's getting interesting.
All right. Thank you very much, Prince. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. I think they've kind of made my job a little bit easier. The truth is that when you look at the numbers don't lie. I'm not going to share my LinkedIn like he actually, because if you see what is going on there, some of you may think, lots like some people say, people like say we escort people come, but that's the, I mean, I get offered everything. I get offered everything. And that's what we are going to position you for. You heard Sammy say that, please just know we are not here for the money. We actually want to help you. This is our passion. Anybody we have done, for just like he's talking about, this is what we love doing. We just want to help you. For me, personally, I feel that part of the problem, why it looks like, I'm not sure if there's an Indian on this call, but why it looks like we hear the Indians' name in the tech world, it's not because they are too good. The problem is that they've had people who went ahead and then offered them opportunities. I feel Nigerians are better. We have brilliant people, but a lot of us don't have that exposure. So what we want to give you is, there's a difference between learning from, a lecturer, a professor, and learning from somebody who is a practitioner. You're going to be learning from practitioners. You're going to be learning from people who are doing the job, people who do heavy, when I mean heavy project. And just like he was actually talking about, we'll show you the easiest part. You can jump into IT and it will, you'll be surprised. So it's taking me to the question, who is this for? Basically anybody. Once you have a college degree, we feel you've proven yourself in one field. So we feel you can, you meet the minimum qualification for us. That's just for us to put a benchmark on where we want to take it from. So once you have any degree from any field, we are comfortable with that. Individuals with little or no IT experience, once you don't know how to click on it, no problem. We don't have, just like Sammy was saying, he didn't know what a CMD was. And some of you may laugh about it, but it's true. There are some persons, everybody has a first time, beginning, and I remember one of the students I trained back then, I think one of our first cohorts in 2020 or so, in 2019, after we collected this machine and installed a few things, and he was like, the laptop is shaking. I say, yes, that is now qualified to be, the machine of an IT practitioner. So we're going to take you, little or no IT experience, you're welcome. And just like you had them say, just be passionate about it. That's it. Just be interested in it. Just be motivated. Just have a goal, have a desire to, go through it and come out a better person, basically for yourself, for your family. That's all we need from you. And then if you want to, make more money, if you want to make more, what we are talking about here, I can say IT professionals anywhere in the world, make I think they are among the highest paid. All right. So our next cohort will start next month, and we only have 50 seats. Now, the reason for that small number is because we've done the very large classes, and then it's very difficult for people to ask questions before questions go around, and then all of that causes problems. So we making it a very limited number, 50 seats, and this is global. So whether you're in the US, you're in Nigeria, it doesn't really matter. What we're saying is we have these 50 seats available and up for grabs. People already registering. I'm not sure the exact number and how many we have left, because once we hit that number, we'll push you to the next batch. But what I want to tell you is don't push your own. I have people in Nigeria I don't want to talk about. I would have brought, maybe next time if we have another opportunity, I'll bring people who are in Nigeria. Some of them make up close to 2-3 million every month in Nigeria, and I'm not joking. I'm not playing around, at the comfort of their homes. Who do some of them work 2-3 jobs like that, some of them one, but there is nobody who have been trained, because there are people in Nigeria who have been trained that earns anything less than $1 million naira, and the truth is that most of them earn in dollars, so it's actually, so whether the price is going down, so that's why dollar is not going down in Nigeria, because there are people's prayer, that their prayer is that the price should not go down. I used to be like that, so whenever the bad people are complaining, I'll just be, so when I go to church, people are praying, it's like, did they know this prayer point they are praying is targeting me? So my joy is that the dollar is, should get to 1,000, because I know what at the end of the month it's making me, I'm not poorer. Anyway, we can talk about economy another day. So what are the steps? How do you get started? Okay, you've gotten to this point. What next? First is you indicate, because we have a partnership with Decency Academy, so you indicate your interest. So the whole process is going to go through him. And then once that it's done, you indicate your interest. He's going to get your details and all of that. And then we're going to have an orientation meeting, because your interest is the first thing. Then we get on a session with you. We want to show you what you're getting into and make sure you're interested, and then make sure that you're the right fit for us. We don't want to waste your time, and we also don't want you to waste our time, essentially. So that's the next thing that will happen. And then just after that, you secure your seats, by making a deposit, an initial deposit. Now, how much? I know we've gotten to the part a lot of people are interested in. How much? All right. I'm not going to play, but there are a couple of people that do things that are similar, to what we do. And but when you check them out, we did a whole lot of research, and our price has really remained consistent and constant for a very long time, because we offer you cloud credits. You're going to deploy things on the cloud, set up, infrastructure, build things and all of that. And then this time around, we're going to be putting you within an organization, in quotes. So it's going to be like you're working in a company. You resume every day, you get tasks assigned to you. I think Lincoln talked about that earlier. So it's, we have to crash the price because of this partnership we have with Decency. So it's currently placed at $2,500, and that's for the fee. It's actually a token. Trust me, it's a token. That's not what you're going to be once you get this job we're talking about, because that's why we are here. Our end goal is for you to get a job, not just for you to be trained. We want to help you secure a job and better your life, so that's what the amount is going to be. So we have the option of those who want to pay. So when we get on that training, so that is going to be after that orientation happens. If you want to pay everything at once, we're going to give you a 10% discount for that, and then you just pay $2,250. And then if you want to pay, an initial deposit, you can pay registration and initial deposit of $1,000. And then you can split the remaining within the 3 months period. We believe that will be enough time for you to actually get this and get this sorted out so that you can invest yourself in it and be able to come out at the end of it. All right. And so yeah, that's the payment plan, and then the summary of actually everything we've talked about. So I'll allow Lincoln to actually go over it just to
I
yeah.
see. I'm reading the comment section, and I think people are already excited and just waiting to sign up. I don't want to spend further time highlighting what we've said already. We are aware of the benefit. We're aware of the
You better go back and bathe with soap and sponge. Make sure you wash your butt.
Sorry about that, guys. Some new people were not muted. Go ahead.
You're mute, Lincoln. You're mute. Could you mute yourself?
Oh, okay. So the next question is what are you waiting for, right? We've told you exactly what the end result is, which is securing a job that would obviously pay your bills, not just your bills, give you the opportunity to do more. You want to invest in real estate, you want to drive a fancy car, whatever your personal goal and vision is from a financial standpoint, it starts with a good earning. So that's basically the promise, right? That's what we're committing to. And on that note, I want to thank every single one on this call for taking the time. I know we've gone over an hour, and we're not the best of presenters. We're tech people, we're engineers, so I guess most you guys might have been bored hearing from us. But again, I just want to thank you all, and also especially thank Decency for putting this together, and hopefully we will be getting the applications and the requests, and then we should be able to see some of you in our orientation classes. Any question?
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. That was awesome. All right. I know there's lots of questions, and we're going to take time to take them. Some of them has been answered already, because I see I'm working with tech guys today. So it's not like the other days when I bring in somebody and I have to read out the question for the person and the person will answer, you know, that kind of thing. Today, the tech guys are there in the comment section answering all your questions. But if you feel like there's a question you have that has not been answered, and you want to, you know, ask that question, you're free to do so in the comment section. Or if you want to, you know, use the microphone, please kindly let me know, and I will ask you to unmute so that you can use the microphone and ask your questions. Okay. But I want to say a very big thank you to Chris, and then to Lincoln, to Samuel, to Prince. All of you are wonderful. Thank you for taking time to come to our program today. It was amazing having you guys here. And you guys have shared means of making money. And, you know, it's true that a lot of people will be looking at it, oh, the amount and the rest of them. Come on. When you make this money, and then when you start earning your own money, will you be so thrilled by the amount of money you're making? Will you say, oh, it's too much? Can I pay some to taxes or to the federal government? You know, so you have to give something to get something. And these guys are very good at what they are doing. I feel this is an opportunity that we all should make use of, you know, depending on how you want to go about it. They are very approachable. On the comment section, I have put in the email address that we can use to indicate our interest. It is itskills@decencyandclassacademy.org. So once you send your name and phone number there, they will be reaching out to you and then adding you to the next cohort. If you have personal things you want to discuss with them, still follow the same route so that we can reach out to you and then give you ideas or solutions to any problem or challenges you're facing. All right, thank you so much. We have about 2 hands that has been raised. We have Kenny and Prince. So first of all, I think Prince was the first person to raise up his hand. So I'm going to give Prince the opportunity to ask his questions. Prince, can you unmute yourself and ask your question? Hello, Prince. Hello. Okay, if Prince is not ready, can we have Kenny? Kenny, can you unmute yourself, please?
Good day.
Yeah, good day. How are you doing?
I'm fine, sir. So
Good.
I have a question about the cybersecurity aspect. In the aspect of cybersecurity, are we going to have different sections? Because I know cybersecurity is also broad. Or is it just cybersecurity in general? That's what I have to ask about that.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. I'm not sure if we'll take all the questions or we'll try to answer
Can
them.
we have the email address again, please?
Okay, it is IT, letter I for ink, T for Tony, skills, S for Sunday, K for Kenny, I for ink, L for Linda, S for school, at decency, NCLEX, academy.org. I sent it to the comment section. I will send it there again. All right. So you want to respond to the question, Mr. Chris?
Okay. Yeah, thank you. So for the training, like we said, the training is going to be tailored to you, basically. So we're not just doing a broad training, a blanket training. So when you come on board, what we do with you is, first of all, talk with you, share with you, show you what the market is looking for. And then with that, we tailor our training, and then get you enrolled with that. All right, so we already have pathways. I can't talk about all the pathways we have. Like even in cloud, for instance, we can't allow you go for GCP, AWS, and Azure. We actually talk with you, find out then which one do you want, and then we put you in that line, right? So the same thing with cybersecurity. Just like I think Prince was actually recommending and saying everyone should actually go for Azure. That's because Azure is actually easier, in that sense. Same thing with cloud, with cybersecurity. We actually show you the options and then discuss with you. That's why you have a mentor, and then allow you to pick the one you want, and then we take you on that as well.
And I think I
Right.
saw on the comment section people asking if the $2,500 is the deposit. That's the entire cost for the training. So just so we're very clear on that.
All right. So how do you guys want to take questions? Because the questions are just multiplying like the fishes in the ocean. So how do you want me to have them ask their question one by one, or could we take all the questions once and then we can now respond to the questions? What do you guys think?
I think I would suggest maybe we'll take the live questions, those who can ask from the mic. We ask, while we still keep an eyes on the chat. We're trying as much to answer the ones we can answer there. But anyone that's really pressing, that feels, oh, I really need an answer, can just speak up while we can use the next 10 minutes to take care of questions.
All right, guys. All right, thank you. So guys, just be brief. Once you are permitted to use the mic, just go straight to your question and we can take all the questions and then we'll respond to them after we have gone through everybody. So Prince, are you ready to ask your question now? Prince Emmanuel. You can unmute yourself. I've asked you to unmute. All right, Oyedele, are you ready to ask your question? You can unmute yourself now, please. Okay, go ahead.
Hello. Sorry. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Okay. Well, I got into the US 2021, and the problem I've been having has been finding the right tutor. You understand? Because I've gone through different IT classes. You understand? I've done AWS cloud computing. I ran away after I couldn't pass my architect exam like 3 times. So when I asked questions from those that have done it in the past, they said it will be best if I join a company from the scratch that I will familiarize myself with those equipment or whatever. So that will help me to pass this. Because I won't lie to you, sitting for the exams, I felt discouraged. Like 2-3 times I couldn't find headways. So I jumped out of there to Scrum. After Scrum, when I couldn't get a job again, I went into data analytics. So I just finished data analytics class. So now hearing this again, so well, maybe because you guys are Nigerian, it's been long that we got people from Nigeria, understand, to do something like this. So I don't know. My question is just, how do you help someone like me that is trying to break into tech? You understand? But I've tried some other means, different IT areas, but I still could not find my way. How are you going to help me to do that, to achieve my targets?
All right, thank you, my brother. Not sure you're done.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for that question. Very, very wonderful question. But the thing is this. I can tell you. I don't know the platforms where you went and had training, but the two testimonies you had today is the same across over 200 that we have actually trained in the past. Now, all the people I train and we train, we actually encourage you not to focus on certification. That's the first thing. Don't focus on certification. IT is not really like medicine and the rest of them where you need certification to get a job. For me, I currently work with AWS, as a senior cloud and DevOps engineer. I didn't have one AWS certification before I joined.
That is not for me early. Mommy, come on.
All right, thank you. So I didn't have one AWS certification. In fact, I had to stay in AWS over 2 years before I wrote my first AWS certification. The truth is, what people want to see in IT when they employ you, like I do projects, we consult for companies. I don't care what certification you have. In fact, I also interview, when it comes for AWS. If I see someone, with a certification, I become very strict on you. I've interviewed someone who came with a DevOps because I know what it takes for you to say you're a certified DevOps engineer, whether Azure, GCP, so when I start asking you some questions, for instance, I asked a guy, one time that was in Microsoft, then I asked him, he came with certifications, he had about 5 certifications. I was like, wow, solutions architect. And I asked him basic questions. One question I can remember, I always ask people, I say, when you actually hitting a 404 error, what's the cause of 404? And the guy started blabbing, started talking about, I was like, I've not even asked this guy any tech related question that's around certification. Now, so that's the point. That's the first thing. We don't just train you, we don't just give you head knowledge. Most of us are Nigerians, and Nigerians, we did a lot of theory that has not helped us. We give you what you need to progress on the job. We help you get a job. I can tell you I know we talked about certification, but the truth is that in the US there, a lot of people will not look at your certification. They want you, can you do the job? Can you perform on the interview? All right, that's one. Once you're confident, because that's what we want to do for you. Once you're confident, then we help you with the certification. For you, if you now want to go and take any certification, you already understand the basics. So I can actually understand where you're coming from, being someone, landing in the US, because I've had a lot of guys, like I have a lot of people that have trained, that are in the US there. I have over 30 persons in Texas, that have gone through this training and they are doing very, very well. I say, leave the certification for now, get the industry experience, right? And then start going for the certification as you now want to. I have security certifications. I have on artificial intelligence, machine learning. I have on other areas that were not areas I actually began, with. So I would encourage you to, first of all, what you need to do, get hands-on experience. Get into the depth of what you're actually doing and what you're talking about. Then get a job. A job will now give you a real life experience. Our training is going to be, kind of what you are seeing every day. So when you land a job, it will not be strange to you. And then you can sit for any certification confidently. And I can tell you, whether it's certification you're interested in, you're going to pass that, you're going to ace that, spot on. Sammy just talked about it. He came with 0 IT experience, and in just 3 months after that, he landed 3 jobs. You need to hear that. 3 jobs. We're not faking it. 3 jobs, and he had to reject 1. That is going to be what we are telling you, is that all of us here today are rejecting jobs. And that's what we want to get you across, not certification. After that, I'm not sure Sam is still on the call, but he can tell you his certifications was after he started those 2 jobs, right? So it's really not about the certification. It's important. It's important. I'm not playing down on it. It's important, but that's not the focus. People will look at your experience first before. Your certification is just like to support and say, okay, yeah, this guy actually means what he says. He has actually put extra effort, in getting this. Okay. So I'm not sure I actually answered. If
Oyedele, are you cleared on the question?
Yes. I'm good with it. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
All right. Okay, time is running out. Okay, all right, let's see. Catherine, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Be fast, please, with it. Just brief, straight to the point.
Yeah, thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I am in UK, and this is coming for the first time. Actually, I'm working with NHS as it is. So for people like me that are working in an institution already and they want to come into IT, I have an idea of where I'm going to. So how do we come in? How do you help us to navigate to it? I've done one course already, but that one was on development, software developing or something like that, with one of these stuffs online. But I don't have someone to I think it's about the one-on-one mentorship. So I don't have someone to direct me to. I know where I'm going to, but I don't really have someone to direct me. So how will you help someone like us that we are already in institution, especially in health institution, and we have our targets, we have where we are going to? How can we navigate combining both health and IT together? I don't know if you get my question. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I think it's all around what we've talked about. Irrespective of where you're coming from, it's not a problem. Just be passionate about what we want to offer you, give it the dedicated time, and you actually sort it out. We don't have a problem with what field you're coming from. We've actually trained pharmacists, we've trained medical doctors who are saying, okay, I want to, I like one was like, he's also in the UK. It was like, I think you guys are living the best life. I want to stop this all thing. I want to be able to work from home. And then that was it. We got involved, showed him the right pathway for him, which is very important and key. And that's why the one-on-one mentorship comes into play. We show you where your strength lies and where you can, in a very short amount of time, be able to land a very good paying job and be very comfortable. Do you understand? So that's the point. Like I said, if you actually listen, I'm not sure what time you joined, but during the presentation, I actually said, you can't learn programming at a certain age. That's the truth. You doing from another field, you can't learn programming. Let's just be honest about it. I've been in this field for over 10 years. You can't. it's almost impossible. You're just going to be at the zero level and nobody's going to hire you. Africa, I'm going to say this on, I'm going to say this on air. Africa, we are very, very behind when it comes to software engineering. And that's the truth. Lincoln actually talked about it. We have only very few companies in Nigeria, most of us are Nigerians, who are matured when it comes to tech. So, but there are other pathways, you can follow. And even if you now want to go back to programming, at that time, you've gathered some things that helps you to understand a few things. That's because the basic, the base of programming is on data structures. And data structures is not something that you can learn, in 1 year. All right. So we have designed something that is very, very short and simple, but heavily equipped to help anybody, whether you're a full-time nurse, full-time doctor, coming from any field, an accountant or anything, help you get ready, get running up to the extent that you can sit for an interview and be able to ace those interviews and get yourself a job. So I'm not sure if I answered that question.
Yeah, you've answered my question. Thank you very much, Chris.
All right, thank you.
All right, let's take one more question from Ebisinde James. Ebisinde, I've asked you to unmute your microphone.
Good evening. Thank you so very much. My name is Ebisinde James Lucky, and I'm streaming from Bayelsa State, Nigeria. So my question is, what package would you advise someone who does not have much computer knowledge to specialize in the course of this training? Thank you, sir.
Right. Thank you. So like we said, zero knowledge to any knowledge at all in tech. Just be there for the first session. That's why we have that first session. You can, if you want to be part of it, indicate interest. So we're not going to we can't talk about the pathway. We've actually shared all the pathways. We have to discuss with you and find out what you want to pursue, and then we help you make those decisions, and then we walk you through. So I can't tell you pursue this, but we have options. Like you need to know, if you're living here today, that COILS, we have broken IT into the smallest possible parts that a baby can take and learn, right? So it's not about your degree, it's not about whether you study computer science or engineering. The point is that we have broken this thing, tech. We can break you into the tech field, in a part that you'll be even at yourself, you'll be wondering at yourself after 1 year, like, how come I'm able to achieve this? That's because we've studied it, we're practitioners, we're experts in the field. We'll take you and hand you these things, and just like you spoon feed a baby, we'll spoon feed you these things, and then you can pick and then start running. So whether you have no experience, a lot of experience, it doesn't really matter. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
A lot of questions around what discipline, whether you have an HND, whatever the course is. That's not a showstopper, right? Irrespective of what degree you hold in whatever discipline, you can obviously secure a seat. I have a dear friend of mine who is currently the CIO with Lagoon Hospital. He studied microbiology, right? And he has basically grown to the ladder in IT leadership, where he's basically a chief information officer. So what you studied in school has no bearing. IT is IT. It's purely practical, as long as you can demonstrate that you know what you're doing.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We have another question. It's going to come from Meru. Meru, you can unmute yourself. I've asked you to unmute yourself.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to ask my question. My question is, I heard that they have simplified the knowledge to a point that even somebody that is a novice to IT can grab it. So my question is it really possible for somebody to be done by 3 months?
All right, very
You want me to
intelligent
answer this
question.
question?
Very intelligent question, but I think I've been in the field. I don't think I'm done. I'm still learning every day. IT, part of the reasons why I didn't want to enter earlier was because it's an evolving field. So I didn't want to keep reading and that's why I didn't like medicine, anything that has to do with health, because I see them, they're always writing one exam, doing this. I didn't want that kind of life. But the beauty of tech is that you keep learning, keep improving, right? So there's no point you're going to be like, I'm okay. Today, just before I joined on this call, I had to go, I was watching a tutorial on K9. K9 is actually, if you guys see it, to actually manage a Kubernetes cluster. And then I just downloaded it and I was trying some things, on it, and it was very cool. So I'm still reading about it. I want to understand what actually happens on it so I can know how to use it when I'm working in production environment. So that's just to tell you the learning doesn't stop. So, but we get you to a point where you can get a job. Like we said, that's our focus. Remember, that's our focus. We want to help you be comfortable. We don't want you to go around, do menial jobs in, whatever country you want to settle down in. We want you to get a good paying job, a high paying job, get at least above the middle class or the lower middle class in whatever country you're living in, and then be comfortable, really. So that's our goal. Not sure I answered that question.
Yes, I think so. I still know that it is individual dependent also. They have, hello?
Yeah. So basically, yeah.
About bracket, being able to learn some packages. What is the bracket?
I think we can all appreciate that people learn at different pace. What we're saying is based on our experience and working with a large number of persons, 3 months is a sufficient amount of time for an average person to be able to gain knowledge that you need to get your first job. But you also have one-on-one mentorship. So it's the job of your mentor to also gauge your pace and also adjust accordingly, right? So we're not saying if like we're gonna try as much as possible to force you out in 3 months. While that's our target, right? I don't know if maybe that should help.
All right, we'll just go ahead and take a few more questions. I think you will answer the question to Mero. Yes, you wanted to say something, sorry.
Yeah, I would like to just say something quickly because I may drop soon. This is just my own personal perspective regarding IT. Please, if you're here, you just join. I want you to know that once you can read and write, you can learn IT and cloud in this case, in this context that we're talking about. Once you can read and write, you can read A, B, C, D, you can make sentences, you can learn. And second thing I want to pass down to you is one of the benefits of learning from people who are in the industry is that IT is a very noisy field. When I mean noisy is that if you start learning on your own, for instance, you can go to YouTube and download things to learn. But when you get there, you will see that your problem will just increase because you will see the person telling you this one, you will call a lot. So they will just call a lot of things that gets you frustrated. And that's what I mean by noisy. There's a lot of things, but during my own time, what Chris and the other tutors did for me was they helped filter that noise. They helped filter that noise. They pointed me to where I should go, what will be asked in an interview, what you are to prepare for when you are facing, for instance, Chris puts himself as, he tries to show you what, it's like he's going to hire you. So he's in the industry. He has a 5 years. He knows what he wants his new employee to know. Do you understand? And that's one thing I think everybody in this that will participate in this training will benefit. You will know where to go. Now, it's going to streamline you to where you should go. But when you come into the industry, you can now begin to explore and begin to broaden your spectrum. Like for me now, there are many technologies I have now learned that I didn't learn during my training, but learning those things initially wouldn't have helped me because probably I wouldn't have gotten a job. But because I now have a job, okay, so I now know, okay, these are more tools that I need to know. These are things that will make me a better engineer on the job. So don't allow this opportunity pass you by for anything. I was not paid to say these things I'm saying, please. It's on record. I'm just sharing, I'm saying it from the depths of my heart. IT has changed my life. If you see my room, there are about 3 screens here plus one extra one, in a very short period of time, your life can be transformed. That's what I'll leave with you. Thank you.
All right. That's a good final word. Thank you, Prince, for that. And so many questions. I don't know how much time do you guys still have with us? How many do you think we can take? So the thing is, we are going to be having programs like this, okay? So before the next cohort, we're going to organize and bring the team back again, and then we'll ask more questions. Well, one thing I want you to take home today is this program they are offering is project-based. So it looks like they're going to be having some project that they are personally working on, and they will bring you into it. So you find out how the real job process goes like. And then they are also offering to do a one-on-one mentorship. One-on-one mentorship changed the paradigm of NCLEX. When I introduced it, it has been the selling point. It's been the thing helping many people to ace their NCLEX because they're able to, work with my instructors one-on-one. We're able to assess them. We're able to know their individual problems, and from there we start helping them. It's so much to control a class of 100, a class of 200, and you're controlling everybody, and you're saying you're training and collecting money. We are going to set example with the first 50. So I want you to be amongst the first 50 that we want to set that example with. Okay, there have been about 200 that have gone off the radar, but now we are going to work with 50 people that will register for the next cohort starting in August. So if you want to be, my phone is already buzzing, the email is piling up. Just send in your email so that you can be part of those that will take part in the orientation. All right, so that's how we're going to go about this. And also, I don't want to overstress my guests today, so we're going to take just 2 more questions, and then every other question you can come and request for a consult through the email. So just through that email, just write something like request for consultation, and then we will make an appointment with one of the team leads, and they will set up a call with you, and you guys will talk about any concerns that you have. All right. So that's how we're going to do it today. So I'm going to pick 2 first people on my screen.
Hello. Please, can I ask a question?
Great. You can, but there are people already on the line that I would like to start with. Okay, so I would allow you to ask your question, but let's pick from the people that have been that have been on standby for the question. So Theophilus, can you unmute yourself? I've asked you to unmute yourself. I'll take your question now. Theophilus, if you are not ready, we'll move over to Joy. Joy, can you unmute yourself?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Joy.
I'm calling from Nigeria. Yeah, I'm streaming from Nigeria. Thanks so much for your time, giving us the opportunity concerning IT in general. Even if some of us are not so IT because of the context we find ourselves. Please, I want to ask a question. Firstly, for a WAEC holder, because I have a nephew that would want to get involved in this, is it possible to bring voice? And secondly, we know how the economy is here in Nigeria. I don't see another opportunity after this first 50, maybe probably when we've migrated to the US, still be another opportunity that will come up so that we can make do with it, because $2,500, man, is quite huge. So that's my question.
Okay, Chris, Lincoln, any of you can respond to her.
Okay, let me take the question. So the person who is at does have, why we put our minimum on, and I think I tried to answer someone earlier. When someone has a WAEC, we want to know what's your next plan? Are you planning to go for a degree? Or we just want to, we feel that someone who already has a degree to some level has accomplished something. Someone who just has a WAEC, we just feel that the person would also want to go for a higher qualification, and then that may not be the right time for you to go for this. It's not like it's not possible, it's not doable, but we want to have that discussion with you to know what are you planning on. This, for now, what we are talking about is really people who are either trying to migrate or who are already on that journey, who already migrated and they need a job or they need something to get started. For someone who is just, I'll probably believe that person maybe is a teenager in his teens, 17, 18, 19, and wants to learn this. Yeah, we can have that conversation and then, see what we can do for that person. That's what I would say for the WAEC. But if it's now, because for countries like the US, a lot of times jobs, I'm not in the US, but you can confirm that for me, maybe Decency or Link. The minimum qualification is a BSc or something. So we want to, that's why we are putting that, for you to be part of the training.
The minimum qualification is GED, which is equivalent to high school.
Just to clarify, while that's correct, right? But just to clarify, it also depends on the role you're positioning yourself for, right? There are organizations in the US that are interested in taking folks who don't have a degree, because degree is also expensive, right? But the jobs we're talking about, they are almost like leadership job. Just the definition of DevOps alone, it's a mid-level job. Mid-level job require a certain level of qualification to get in. When you're even going through the application, they're going to ask you, do you understand? The 4 years in school accounts to your work experience in their own definition, right? And then you just pad it with some other things. But we're not disqualifying anyone, just like Kristen mentioned, but would rather have a conversation with such kind of person to know what's the best fit, what's their next step, so we don't get you into something and create even more confusion or distraction for you, as opposed to helping you, do you understand, or mentoring you into something that would obviously reward at the end of the day.
Okay, yeah. So that being said, we're going to take a question from, where is Great? Great, you can unmute yourself now and ask your question.
Okay, so in Nigeria, I took a course that's Python, but I could not finish it because of the same thing that I think Mr. Chris was talking about, certificates. So that was why I went for that one actually. So, but now I left Python for a while and I'm looking into entering tech, like IT now. So I'm kind of lost because I don't know if this program actually have like a guide, like a course schedule.
Course outline.
Yeah, something like that. So that's my question.
Yeah. Thank you for your question. And that's like what I said. You can I mean, I've dealt with this thing over the years. People, especially back home, people just hear IT tech, oh, they want to learn Python. Halfway, they've collapsed. They don't know left from right. And it's like you're trying to fly an aircraft without communication tower information. You get lost in the sky. That's the truth. And then the next thing you crash. What we are doing for you, we cannot be sitting here without having a roadmap. What I told you is take it to the bank. We'll show you how to move from step. You know how you're trying to walk a baby. We take you, we say you're here, we take you step 1, step 2, step, and get you where you need to be. From there, you can go. Do you understand? You know, there are so many information, Python, C#, and the rest of them. All those informations are good. IT is a very wide field. Just like Chris was saying, it's very noisy, extremely noisy. You know, as a beginner, you don't need Python. Trust me, if you're up to 25, don't go for any programming language. You'll be wasting your time. You need people like us to tell you this is what you need to learn. Like if I had spoken with you earlier, I'll tell you don't go for Python. There's something else I would ask you to go for. And when you finish that, then you will just be saying Python like something, oh, I can do this. And then you just do it. You know, so that's what we are here. We have I'll put pipeline, that's a tech word. We have a pipeline to take you from zero knowledge to an expert, you know, in this training. And that's what we are going to offer you.
All right. So to add to that, if you really want to speak to one of them, I would ask you to use the email to schedule a call. You can schedule a call with them, a consultation with them. You can have a one-on-one with them, but it has to be organized because everybody in this meeting, we're about 250 participants at some point. So if all of us are coming to their email with the people they are training, they're not going to achieve anything. So we have to make it organized. If you really want to have a session with them on one-on-one kind of basis, like a consultation, just send us an email and we'll be able to get you scheduled. All right, so with your permission, sir, I would like to take one more question because Grace's question was just by the side. So I would like to take one more question from Nonso Nebonta. I would ask Nonso, I'll ask you to unmute now and then you can ask your question. That will be our last question for today.
All right, thank you so much for allowing me to ask my question. Okay, currently I live in Nigeria, having some plans to migrate away from this country. So please, if I take this class or this training, is there a possibility, for me, getting a job, remote job, which I'll be doing here in Nigeria, making something from it, while I still prepare myself to leave the country, that's just the question. Then again, that's just it because you have answered some of the other questions I would have asked anyway. Although I have a little idea of IT, but all I need is that direction. And if I will still be making something after the training where I prepare myself to leave the country. Thank you.
That's an important.
Sorry, someone is enjoying.
Yeah, that's a good question. We have a rich alumni base. We have people who are in the US, in the UK, who are getting multiple jobs. And just like Samuel said, sometimes it gets really overwhelming to be able to keep 6 jobs, 5 jobs, 4 jobs, and they just have to sublet those jobs to people who are back at home, who have the skill and can support those jobs. That opportunity also exists. There are people in Nigeria who are currently doing jobs for organizations in Dubai, because Dubai is also a market that is also really interested in what you can deliver as opposed to where exactly you are. So in response to your question, you can go through the training, right? If you're really good, you would definitely get a job even back at home. There are organizations in Nigeria that are having significant IT shortage, because the good players are leaving the country also, right? They're in Europe.
They've all left.
Yeah, so it's not as though there are no jobs in Nigeria, and those jobs also pay good, but we also prioritize our own folks when we have alumni in all these developed countries that are looking for people that can help them support their jobs. And they, in some cases, they pay way over $1,000 just to help you, just to get you to take a job for them. So the opportunity also exists for you.
So what we are saying in a nutshell is that if you're in Nigeria and you've done this training and we can trust you, this company COILS can actually have you as one of their support staff, and you may be earning us up to $1,000, you know, monthly, based on supporting people who are migrated, that has jobs, that so many jobs that they cannot take. Like for instance, our boss here, Mr. Chris, have a lot of people coming to him and saying, can you take this job? Can you take this project? And he decides, okay, I have a good base of a support staff. I have a good number of them. I'll take some jobs, and then some of them will be contracted out to the support staff. And then you can make your money like that. So that's what they are doing. They can do it. Is something they have, is not promises coming from the air. It's something they are currently doing, and they have people who can testify to that. So on our subsequent programs, maybe we'll get one of the Nigerian guys that has been supporting some of your projects to get him on board. And then they will also say for us to hear how good and how nice this kind of program is. But not to mention, there's been a lot of questions, a lot of answers has been going on the comment section. I know most of us are just listening, but there's a lot that we have answered. There's almost everybody on this session had a question, and my guest has been so good at responding to all of them. And I must really appreciate you guys, because when we have such program and we are not able to attend to questions, I feel bad, because I feel maybe 1 or 2 questions we are leaving out has been like something that is a very big challenge to someone. But what we are going to do is that we're going to try to bring them back again. So wherever you got this information from, just keep an eye there. We're going to have another meeting, okay? And then we are going to be bringing them back, all right? So thank you so much. Thank you. I'm going to take a final word from both of them. I'm going to take a final word from Lincoln first, and then I'll take a final word from Chris. So after that, I'll make a very important announcement. Don't leave yet. I know you've spent a lot of time here, but do not leave. I have a final announcement that might interest you. Thank you so much. Okay, Lincoln.
Yeah, thanks again, Decency, for putting this together. It's outstanding. And again, thanks to everyone who participated, everyone who stayed this long. There wouldn't be a meeting without you guys. Thanks for showing up. And I think just to leave you guys, I'm going to be expecting you in the class. I'm going to be looking forward to seeing each and every one of you in the class at some point. So when we get to that stage, we're going to get to know ourselves more better. Thanks so much once again.
Thank you so much. And Chris, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thanks for the time. Thanks for listening to us. We hope to see you in the class, and hopefully one day you send me $1,000 to say thanks for that. Thanks.
Okay, that's good.